Alright, last time we talked about how one unemployed man named Toji Fushiguro literally traumatized the entire JJK society. Like, he fucked it up for everybody. How he made the weapons to get lost, how Gojo ended up being sealed, how Geto ended up snapping, how the whole system ended up just crumbling, bro. Like, it was brutal. But today we are going to be asking the real question. Is Maki Zenin actually on Toji's level, or are we just being respectful? Because the manga keeps saying it, but the fans keep arguing, bro. So let's do our best to break it down for everybody. No glazing, no bias, just straight violence. Right? Let's get it. So first things first, Maki and Toji are built the same way. Both have zero cursed energy, heavenly restriction, superhuman strength, insane speed, like I don't even know where it is coming from, heightened senses as well, and the ability to bully sorcerers who have trained their entire life. Like, you could train from day 1 to day 100 and you are still going to lose, bro. So after Mai's death, Maki became complete and she was now in the same condition as Toji, meaning that in terms of strength, speed and durability, yes, Maki is officially in the same level as Toji. But now let us talk about the part that people like to skip, the boring parts that most of the fans don't like to talk about. You see, Toji wasn't just dangerous because he was strong. He was dangerous because he was smart, prepared, ruthless. This man studied his opponent, planned days ahead, and he had a bunch of course tools. Like, this guy was a loadout. It felt like Call of Duty, bro. Like, it was insane. And the only time he fought was when he knew that it was in his favor. Like, this guy will not enter a battle he knows he cannot win. Like, let's be honest, Toji doesn't pull up to flex. This guy pulls up to end careers. You understand this thing now? He exhausted Gojo, came back later, stabbed him, then made sure that boy never got to walk again. Like, he multiple stabs, bro. Like, he made sure he was thorough, bro. That is not just powerful. Yeah, that's insane. Like, professional levels to this thing. Now, in terms of Maki's area of expertise, now we will say Maki is like different from Toji in the sense of, like, she can walk into the room and say everybody's getting smoked. Like, she's aggressive in her own style. Like, post awakening, Maki didn't really plan anything. She didn't hesitate. She just went into the place and she wiped out everybody. Like, if you check out the fight she had with everybody, it was instantaneous. No too much movement, just brutal, bro. Like, it wasn't even a joke. And like, if you check out the fight that she had with Sukuna, it was still the same thing. Like, even Sukuna himself had to acknowledge her presence. Maki fights like someone that has been disrespected her entire life and has something to prove. But Toji is like a sniper, bro. Like, this guy doesn't just come out except he knows he's going to win, bro. Like, it's crazy. Now, this is where the debate gets uncomfortable for most people. Like, Toji now, he fought elite sorcerers for years. You have to remember that this guy was an assassin. Like, remember this thing. So he knew how Jujutsu work. He understood barriers, domain, course tools, and all of that stuff. And he survived by being cautious. But Maki right now, she's in her prime, bro. Like, she's moving like nothing can stop her. Like, but she is still learning at the same time. She is still learning. Toji knew when to disengage, but Maki will always choose violence first. But that doesn't really make her weaker, sha. It just makes her like a little bit more aggressive. But in JJK, you understand how this whole thing goes now. Like, you have to be a bit more refined to move. But what is the level of refinement if you are still faced with overwhelming power? That's how it goes. So physically, I would say Maki's on the same level as Toji, but potential wise, I would say Maki has more time to literally be ahead of Toji, because as you know, Toji is already dead, but Maki has all the time in the world to evolve and become something greater. Because, like, let's remember, Toji wasn't just strong, but he was able to solve the problem, and Maki is actually going to be that problem solver of a person. So let's not get it twisted, sha. Maki is not a copy of Toji. She is louder, she is angrier, she's more aggressive, and she's very direct. Like, there's a difference. There are two different people. Emotionally, they have a way of dealing with things. Toji is very thorough, Maki is very aggressive. Difference, there's a huge difference there. But with more time, I see Maki actually get to that pinnacle of heavenly restricted, doings. You get that? But in terms of overall strength and power, I would say they are on the same team. So it's basically like the same body but different mindset, bro. And since Maki is going to definitely live longer than Toji, we all know that Jujutsu society will be always like avoiding this girl because she's going to be a threat for life. So let's get it right now. Maki and Toji are on the same level, bro. Heavenly restriction doesn't necessarily mean you are going to have like insane abilities and you keep on leveling up. No, you are already at your max potential. Even above that, it's like a video game. Once you cap out, bro. If you play the game from beginning, you are still going to be level 100 all throughout. There is nothing above that. That is the peak of everything. But you can only increase in terms of strategy, intellect, and every other aspect. But in terms of anything physically, that's all it is right now, right? I hope I've done my best to explain it for you as brief as possible. I didn't want the video to be too long, so I just need to pour out my own opinion on this matter. So yeah, I hope you understand, and in case anybody has any questions, you can still drop it in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Peace.